Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hello, hello. Welcome. I'm happy, happy, happy. So, who do we have here already? We have got Kiki. It's about time I get to see you. Well, I'm not really seeing you, but I get to meet you. I get to talk to you. And Sharon Brewer, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being a member. I really appreciate that so much. And we have Sally Skinner from Pennsylvania. Welcome, Sally. I'm happy that you're here.
Hey, how you doing?
We have Dana McAdams from Texas. Where in Texas are you at? Dana, I am in Waco, Texas. So I'm looking forward to seeing where everyone's from. This is super exciting. Make sure y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Virginia Walton is from West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome. Dana is it Borger, Texas, just north of Amarillo. Awesome. That is so great. Yay. Thank you. Thank you, Sally, for the thumbs up. Hi, Marie. Welcome. I'm super excited. And thank you for waiting another day. Oswego, New York, Marie, welcome, welcome. It was supposed to be last night, but then my husband reminded me that we had concert tickets. So we had to go to the concert. Jacqueline from Virginia, hello, hello. And Carlene from Ballinger, Texas. Hello, welcome. This is awesome. I'm so happy that you're all here. Hi, Kiki. Yay, 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 yay. So we've got 20 people on, which is awesome. Welcome to everybody. Diana B is from Southern Oregon. I got people from everywhere. I love that. I just love that. So, did everybody get a chance to watch my latest upload? I uploaded it. Well, members got it a little bit early, but I uploaded it to the general public last night. And oh, Kiki, thank you. You're so kind. I appreciate that.
How you doing?
My mom's texting me. We went to go see ZZ Top in concert last night, and it was awesome. And they are old. And so it was my husband and I, and we went, and they played down in Temple, Texas, which is, it was Belton, Texas, which is about 50 minutes from our house here in Waco. And there, I thought there's going to be a lot of different kinds of people there, but it was mostly people our age and older, there was even a guy with a walker with a ZZ Top t-shirt on, which was crazy. And one of the guys in ZZ Top died. So they had a different guy who still had like a crazy beard. Hello, Debbie from Mountainburg, Arkansas. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, that was quite the experience. Like, I haven't been to a concert in a really long time, a proper concert. And, that bass, you could feel it in your heartbeat,
Hey,
which is
how you
just
doing?
crazy. My mom's still texting me. And so, yeah, it was super fun. And there was a warm-up band.
How you
Oh
doing?
my gosh, Mom, seriously. Thank you. I'm live now. I'm just going to text my mom. I'm live right now, Mom. Okay, I suppose I could put my phone on silent too. That might help. Okay. So, is everybody busy quilting? Does everybody have a project that they're working on right now? I'm super interested in knowing what everybody is working on, if they're working on anything. Did you see my upload from last night? I want to know that and what you thought of it, because now that I've uploaded it, I have mixed feelings about what I did. and based on the comments from people. And I know Kiki, but she hosted a wedding shower for my niece today up in Minnesota, and I told her to take pictures. So she's just sending me pictures from that. So I can look at them later. But anyway, well, oh yeah. So I did this tutorial on this. It's now a table runner. It used to be a quilt top, but now it's a table runner. And if you haven't seen it, I waved the white flag and I surrendered because it was giving me, well, through my own fault. It was pilot error, 100%. I had these 3 columns like this. And when I went to square them up, I cut into them too deep and I squared them up really weird and wonky. I did a terrible job of squaring them up. And then I started to get really frustrated. And then I tried to fix it and it got all puckered and weird. And after a bunch of frustration, I called my husband and I'm like, would you look at this? Like, is this too wonky to be a proper tutorial? Like, how can I show this? And he's like, yeah, that's really crooked. And so I'm like, oh, what do I do? And plus I was feeling a lot of pressure to get the tutorial out because it had been a good 3 weeks since my last tutorial. But I don't want to put out bad stuff, like I feel like I have to have something that's worth showing, right? And so I made the executive decision to tear apart the 3 columns. And hello, Mrs. McLean. It's nice to see you. So I tore apart my 3 columns and I just made 3 table runners instead. And now, based on the comments from the people who viewed the video, they're like, oh, I really liked it. I liked it wonky, even though I don't know if they were just being nice or if they really liked it wonky. And maybe from far away, the wonkiness didn't show, but my eyes could see it. And like Jenny Doan says, if you look at it 20 feet away from a running horse and you don't notice it, then it's probably not so bad. Or however she puts that, which I think is clever. Yes, Dana, it was different. And I loved my original idea and my original concept, but it's just because of that error that I made when I went to trim, square up each column so I could sew the 3 columns together. And yeah, but see, and comments like that, like people like the wonkiness, and maybe I should have just, now I kind of maybe wish I would have just shown it like that because that was it still looked cool, but in my brain, it just wasn't good enough, and so, and I need to get over that. I know I'm not a perfectionist. I've never been a perfectionist, but all I could see were those areas where it was just too puckered and too weird and too close. And so I had to make the decision. But it's still pretty. I think I might do it different if I did it again. All of the individual blocks, all of the individual film strips, like they were super square and they were super straight. It's just when I went to sew them together that I trimmed it really bad, really, really bad. So yes, quilting is supposed to be fun. And at that point, I was not having fun. I was more frustrated. And then when I went to quilt that, my thread kept breaking and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I am going crazy right now. Plus I felt like I was under pressure to get this tutorial out. And so thank you, Mrs. McLean. They are all a work of art. And I have to embrace that. So I've learned a lesson from this last tutorial, even though it's only been a day or two. And my lesson that I've learned is everyone has different tastes. Nobody's expecting perfection from anybody, including me. I don't expect perfection from other quilters, so I shouldn't expect perfection from myself. And I also think it's a good idea to talk about when things are frustrating, because everybody has those frustrating stories of quilts that they just want to either be done with it or throw it in the fire. And so I didn't want to throw it in the fire because I was in love with the jelly roll. So Kiki, oh, I haven't found all you've done I didn't like. I love your colors and your styles. Don't be hard on yourself. You're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I have the best subscribers because they are 100% encouraging to me. And I really appreciate that. And that makes a big difference when you have a tribe of people who have your back and keep encouraging you and things like that. So I learned a lot from doing this last tutorial, and sometimes it's hard to come up with original ideas. And then if I go a week and I don't have an original idea inside of myself, I start to panic, like, because my goal is to have a tutorial out about once every 2 weeks. And so inside I start to panic and get that anxiety, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I got to get something out. So thank you, Chris. I try to inspire. My goal is to inspire others to be creative. And so I don't even expect everyone to follow my designs perfectly, even though sometimes they do. But I love it when people play with my designs. I had a couple people email me on quilts they made based on my patterns, and they took it a whole different direction, and they're beautiful. They're just stunning. And I love that because they were inspired by my patterns, excuse me, by my designs. And I love that. That is super inspiring to me. So today I want to talk about some of these new things that I found. One of them is you can kind of see a corner of my fabric shelf over there. This cubicle right here is all my orphan blocks. So they're just kind of shoved in there. But all my yardage over here, I don't know if I'm pointing over here, is just kind of folded and shoved in the bookshelf. But I found these great boards on Amazon, and one packet comes in, you get 3 sizes. And so I have started to take these boards. I'm just going to pull one out here. I've started to take these boards and wrap my fabric around these boards, and they stand up so nice in the cubicle. And the really nice thing about this is I can write on there the measurements with a Sharpie and then just wrap the fabric around there. So like this is a 24-inch by width of fabric, and I put flawed because there's a rip in the middle of it somewhere. But this is my great new find. I love this. I'm super excited about this. And so this whole stack right here just lines up in one of those cubicles perfectly. And so I just wrap it around. And there are little clips that you can buy too that clip it together. But I decided not to get the clips and just put those in there just like that. So they sit so nice. And eventually I will organize them by color. But I love these packs, and they come in packs of 100, 200, or maybe 300 or 400, something like that. And this pack of 100 cost me $25. It's just like real thick cardstock. And I suppose if you were really handy, you could make your own, but I'd just rather buy it and use it. And so I'm slowly but surely organizing them all, and eventually I'll organize them by color. But I just wanted to share this because this is a game changer for me. Like, I love this, and I can use the bigger ones for the actual yardage. If I have a 2 or 3 yard cut or whatever, I can use that. So I love that. And that is my latest thing I found. And so I love that. Now, also, T-shirts. I've been pushing T-shirts, and I've been working with the TeePublic website. I have my own store on TeePublic, and it's all quilt T-shirts. And my subscribers have been buying T-shirts, which is awesome. And starting yesterday, we are having a flash sale. So they're like $16. Hi, Gloria from San Diego. So the flash sale, normally they're $22, which is still a pretty good price for a quality T-shirt. Right now they're $16, and there's a link in the description. And then they not only have t-shirts, though, they have hoodies, they have tank tops. But what I really like about this store, among other things, is they have girl t-shirts. Like, not just, how men's t-shirts are super boxy, but they have female cut t-shirts, they have v-necks, they have every kind of t-shirt you would ever want. And I really like the girl cut t-shirts because, hi Trudy from Idaho Falls, Idaho. I really like the girl cut t-shirts because they just fit me better. They're a little bit cinched in at the waist. They fit my neckline and shoulders better. I did buy one man's one, and it looks like a sleep shirt on me. It's just really boxy. I have kind of narrow shoulders so that the shoulder seams kind of hang on me like that. So, oh, Kiki, thank you for coming. I'm glad that you really got to finally join me in one of my live streams, but thank you for stopping by. It was nice to meet you. So if you haven't checked out the store, check it out. I've sorted the shirts by popularity. So there are literally hundreds of designs to choose from. And if you can't find one you like, then you are way too picky. So anyway, does anybody have a story of a quilt that they had to surrender to and completely change their plans? I would love to hear that story. I wish one of these days, what I want to do is an actual Zoom call where we can actually talk to each other. Like, I think that would be amazing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to schedule that. Would you guys, hands up for anyone who would be interested in an actual Zoom call where we can talk to each other instead of just me talking? That would be awesome. Let's see. So yeah, I'm interested to hear stories or or any stories about like a quilt that you hated, that you made, that you hated, and so you totally changed it. I would love to hear that. Let's see. I do have a new idea. You can kind of see it right there. A little mock-up of my new idea. It's going to be called Stacks, and it's going to be like blocks stacked up next to each other. It's going to be very 3D-ish. That's not what it's going to look like, though. That's just kind of a mock-up. And so we're going to, that's going to be my next tutorial because I got inspiration quick on that one. So I'm excited to put that one out. I'm still working it out, but it's going to take me a week and a half or two before I have that uploaded. But yeah, so what's going on with you guys? I want to know what's happening in your life. What's happening in your quilt world? I would love to know. Gloria from San Diego. I think I might have missed you the first time. So yeah, I wanted to give you a shout out. Very nice. Thank you to all my members. I really appreciate your support. That's awesome. But, oh, and you know what? I've only got like less than 300 subscribers to go before I hit 10,000 subscribers. Like, that blows my mind right there. Like, I can't even believe that 10,000 people are going to be subscribed to my channel. So I'm like doing the countdown for 10,000 subscribers. That blows my mind. So Dana McAdams, she said that she finished one of the quilted throws she's making for Christmas gifts and about halfway done with the second. That's awesome, Dana, that you're doing Christmas stuff right now. Hi there. What's the name of the t-shirt company again? It's called TeePublic. And there's a link to it in the description of this live stream. So you can go there. I have my own store on there. And I do get a portion of the sales, but it doesn't affect your cost at all. It's like a commission, but it doesn't come out of your cost. So that really helps me out. All that money goes right back into my channel. So at least you get something for it, which is really nice. thank you for joining Quilts by Carmel. I appreciate that. So, so Dana, you were working on Christmas gifts. Are they Christmas themed, or are they like no theme, just gifts for Christmas? I don't buy a lot of novelty or seasonal fabric. In fact, I don't even know if I have any. If I do have any Christmas fabric, it's hand-me-downs or secondhand fabric that somebody gifted me or gave me. And so, yeah, but I don't really buy too many novelty prints. Not Christmas themed, just gifts for family members. That's awesome. Thank you, Quilts by Carmel. Yes, a thumbs up really helps out my channel, and it's just it doesn't take any effort, so that's nice. Diana B has been at a sew day. They had 75 women sewing quilts for kids in the hospital. It was awesome. That sounds amazing. That sounds like so much fun. It is still my dream to open up a Revelation Quilt studio where people can come and gather and sew. I just think that would be so much fun, and that would be so amazing. Debbie Harrison says she had a quilt disaster that I started about 15 years ago. And the half square triangles were so awful because she was a newbie that she gave up. She finally finished it and gifted it to my baby sister 2 months ago. Yay, good for you. 15 years is a long time to hold on to a bunch of half square triangles that you don't like. I'm glad you were able to resurrect it. Since we had Resurrection Day, it's April. Good job, Marie Sutherland. Hi, Marie. By thumbs up, we mean thumbs up in the, like when you click on the thumbs up button. But thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see what else is going on. I have got, I'm going to be in Minnesota in July for a couple of weeks. So if anybody wants from Minnesota, I'm going to be in the Twin Cities area. So if there's anyone from the Twin Cities area that might want to hang out and get together for lunch or a glass of wine or something like that, let me know. And if you're in the kind of in the Twin Cities area, I'll be in the South Metro area, but I will travel. I will have my own car. So we are driving up for a wedding. And then my husband is going to stay the weekend, and I'm going to stay like longer because my parents and my children and grandchildren, most of them, all of them are up there. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's in mid-July. I think the wedding is in maybe the third week in July. I may end up having to do a live from there too. I'm going to be staying at my son's house. They just bought a house there. So I'm excited for that. And I will be going probably to the Houston Quilt Festival in November. If anybody else is going to that, I would love to do a hangout and a catch up there too. And I'm just wanting to meet my peeps everywhere I go. That is fun for me. So what else is going on? I want to know what you're working on. Water. Talk to me. Talk to me. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'd be happy to answer some questions. I'm just looking at what you are seeing in my room. Excuse me. A spiderweb quilt made of selvages. Now that sounds super interesting. I might have to look that up and see what that looks like. Speaking of selvages, have y'all seen the bookcase quilts that people make, and then they use the selvages as titles of the books? That's kind of cool. So I'm going to start saving my selvages. Quilts by Carmel, where do you get your inspiration from? I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, but I don't look at other quilts on Pinterest. I look at things like floor tiles, area rugs, architecture. I look at things like modern art and think, can I make that out of fabric? And if so, what would I change? If I do look at other people's quilts, I'm so afraid of copying someone else that I don't want to. I don't want to be too influenced by other designers and other quilts. Although there are a few designers that I love and would love to copy them, but I would want to get their permission first. Julie O'Donnell, hi from London, England. It's 1:24 a.m. and raining. That sounds kind of dreary, but thank you for being up this late and watching. I'm super happy that you're here. That's awesome. Yes, Debbie, those bookcase quilts are very cool. And I have not made one yet. I know how to do it. I just need to do it. There's lots of tutorials on those. But yeah, so my inspiration, I get a lot from Pinterest. I get a lot from the just looking around. If I see something that looks really geometric or something like that, I might take a picture of it. There's an app I have on my phone called it's like a paint by number app or whatever, but they've had a couple paint by number designs on that I thought I could make a quilt out of that. That would look super cool. Dana McAdams, not a question, but I bought the ergonomic rotary cutter and the titanium blades I asked you about last month. It was a little weird at first, but I love it. Yes, I'm glad you love it. It does take a tiny bit of getting used to, but that's my favorite cutter for sure. And I like the titanium blades too. I need to change my blade right now. Jacqueline says, working on a quilt for a wedding that is due the 29th of this month. Still cutting out small pieces for the top. I don't think I'm going to make it. They may get an IOU. You can do it. It depends on how big the quilt is, but that might be your full-time job for a while, Jacqueline, is just focusing on that quilt. Gloria Partington, I use my selvages to make pillows. I first heap on them to something and then stitch the selvage rows together with fancy stitches. They make a great pillow for a quilter. That's a brilliant idea. I would love to see what that looks like. If you could email me a picture at revelationquilts@yahoo.com, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. That's such a creative idea. I love that idea. Yeah. I like the selvages, especially for a bookcase quilt, because so many of the selvages read, they have the name of the fabric, like floral bouquet, and then it's by, and then the name of the designer. So that's like perfect for a book title. I just love that. So I would love to design fabric. Yes. The only fabric I've ever designed is I designed fabric with my Revelation Quilts logo on it, and I bought a yard of it. I designed it online, and then I bought a yard of it. It was like $24 for a yard of it, but the design is like 4 inches by 4 inches, and I use that for labels for the back of the quilt. Jacqueline, Debbie says, Jacqueline, I gave a wedding quilt to my niece and her husband after they've been married 5 years, so it's never too late. That's right. That's right. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say something. 5 years. So hopefully they stay married for 5 years. There, I said it. Yeah. So that's awesome. I love gifting quilts, especially to people who appreciate it. I've gifted a few quilts to people who either weren't impressed or didn't appreciate it or something, because I never got a thank you or even an acknowledgement. So they're not getting another one. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to happen. Kathy Walcott, 10,000 subs. You'll get there soon. I'd love the table runner. I saw it this morning. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm super pumped to get my 10,000 subs, because the thing is, when I started my YouTube channel in July of 2021, I was really discouraged because I just got tiny views, tiny views, tiny views until a year later when I did the Potama quilt tutorial. And then all of a sudden my YouTube channel exploded. And that's when my YouTube channel became monetized. And then I was super encouraged. And that to date has been my most viewed video. I think it's got like over 60,000 views, which is awesome. And ever since then, I've been earning a decent income from YouTube, and that nothing makes me happier because I knew that that's what I wanted to do, is to be able to earn money doing what I love. And so it's my dream come true for sure. But starting a YouTube channel, it was a leap of faith, but I was just going to keep going no matter what. Even if I didn't earn money doing this, I would still do it because I love doing it. I would just probably have to find a second job, which would take away from my quilting time. But I literally do spend at least 4 to 6 hours every day, either working on my YouTube channel or working on a quilt or playing around with my graph paper and sketching out things and doing things like that. So I'm either doodling, working on my YouTube channel, editing videos. So for me, it is kind of a full-time job. This is what my schedule looks like every day. Okay, so I wake up at the crack of 9, maybe. Sometimes later because I'm up very late every night. So anyway, I wake up, I make my tea or my coffee, and then I come in here into my office at my computer. I have 2 email accounts, one personal, and then one, I have the Revelation Quilts email account. So I check both emails, correspond. Lots of people email me and I love it. And then I just look at my YouTube channel, see where it's at. I answer my comments, things like that. And then I just start either sewing or designing, or if I'm currently working on, I set up my room, set up my studio for filming, things like that. And then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30, my 2 dogs start to get really restless and they start barking at me, basically. And so then it's time to take a break, and I watch like an hour, I would say between 3:30 and 5. I'll watch TV. Right now I'm watching the Arrow series. Oh, thank you, Trudy. Yes. And so right now I'm watching the Arrow series, and then my husband will call me at 5 o'clock to tell me he's on his way home. So then I will start dinner, and I am ambitious because I cook everything from scratch. So I start dinner, and it usually takes me between 40 minutes to an hour to make dinner. And then he gets home like at 6-ish. And then we will watch 2 hours of TV together. We're watching all 13 seasons of Doctor Who together. And then he goes to bed at like 8 or 8:30. And then I come back in my office and I do more work on my quilting until about 11:30-ish. And at 11:30, I will sit down and just surf the web, or I don't even know if that's a term people use anymore. I'll look on the internet for inspiration. I'll look at my Facebook. That's when I do kind of my social media stuff, stuff like that. And then I stay up until 2 a.m. 2 a.m. is my bedtime. Then I go wash my face, brush my teeth, and go to bed. So that's what my day looks like. I don't know if that's interesting at all, but that's what my day looks like. Thank you so much, Trudy, for doing that. I'm excited to see what that looks like. The spider web on my website. Jacqueline says the wedding shower is the 28th, but the wedding is in June, so I'll give it then. You can do it. Just put your mind to it. You can do it. I'm a poet and I know it. Yeah, that's awesome. So 31 people watching. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for joining. If you're a lurker and you're just lurking, just say hi. We want to know that you're here. That would be awesome. I rewatched my live stream from last month, and I realized that I was playing with my microphone the whole time I was talking. So that was super annoying. So I apologize in retrospect for that. And I moved my microphone back so I wouldn't fiddle with it. Because I don't know, maybe it's just like a nervous thing. I always get nervous before I come live. I shouldn't because we're all friends. But yeah. So does anybody have anything else they would like to ask me or any questions? What inspires you? Debbie Harrison, busy girl. We appreciate your awesome videos. Thank you so much for that gift. I really appreciate it. Debbie Harrison, I was 2 years late giving my own daughter her wedding quilt. I'm such a procrastinator. You know what, Jacqueline? I think there's nothing wrong with that at all. That just means you put so much time and effort into it that it ended up being a complete masterpiece. And so my hat's off to you for that. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Debbie. That's super appreciated. I really appreciate that. I am a busy girl, but I love what I do. Like, even if I have to leave my house, like all of that said is all not leaving my house. Sometimes I do have to leave my house. Like once in a while, I'll go to Goodwill and see if they have any fabric there. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you can get like cotton shower curtains and cotton sheets that aren't messed up. I always try to make sure they're 100% cotton because those are great for quilt backs and stuff like that. Janice, I just caught your live. I will have to catch the first part later. Hi, Janice. Thank you for joining. Janice Cahill, thank you for joining. Where are you joining from, Janice? And so, yeah, I go to Goodwill because sometimes you can find some pretty good stuff there. I did find this awesome shower curtain that was 100% cotton. And it was orange, which is my second favorite color, is orange. It had like these, it was orange and white, had orange paisleys on it. And I thought I'm going to use that for a quilt back because that's an awesome quilt back. Well, then when I was looking at it, I noticed there was a Tommy Hilfiger label on it. So I Googled it and it's like a $50 shower curtain. I'm like, nope, that's not going to be a quilt back. It's now hanging in my guest bathroom. And I went and bought matching rugs and matching towels. So now I have an orange and white bathroom. Yeah. So sometimes you can find good stuff there. My daughter finds amazing stuff at Goodwill and she resells them. She has her own store where she resells stuff. She gets a lot of like colored glass things and stuff like that. But she does everything. She's very ambitious and she's really good at what she does. So I might go there if one of the dogs needs grooming or goes to the vet. Grocery shopping, we do that all online and we just drive to the store and they put it in the back of our car. And we do that. We order our groceries every Saturday and we pick it up every Sunday. So we don't have to traipse through the store. I love that service. That's an awesome service because it really cuts down on impulse buying, which I'm great. I'm an expert at impulse buying, super good at it. I should start a class, a tutorial on how to impulse buy everything and how to justify all your purchases. I could do that very easily. Yes, so that is other than that, I don't leave the house too often at all. And I'm okay with that. I like it. But we go to see live music once in a while. We both like music a lot. Yes, Diana, that is a great grocery store service. When I was younger, I was in a band. So, yes, both my husband and I were in a band, actually. Debbie Harrison only impulse buys fabric. Me too, kind of. Because I rarely buy fabric for an actual project. I mean, I do once in a while, but rarely. I just basically buy fabric if I like it. And then all my tutorials, all my designs are pretty much made up with what I have, which I like. I did recently. I do get a lot of Missouri Star Quilt Company deal of the days. They have great deals. Hi, Janice from Davenport, Iowa. That's awesome. Um, I recently, my husband and I recently met another couple who live here in Waco. He grew up in Davenport, Iowa, and I know it's a big town. You probably wouldn't know each other, but his name is Tom Rodriguez. Anyway, um, yeah. So impulse buying fabric. Yeah, I do that. I'm good at that. Very good at that. And like I said, all my designs are basically made out of fabric that I have. So if I come up with a concept like this concept that I'm coming up with now, I'm still working it out in my brain, but it's all basically 2.5-inch strips. So I'm thinking I can use scraps or I can actually use jelly rolls. I can use yardage. I could use fat quarters. So I'm kind of trying to figure out. I think I'll probably end up using scraps because I have a lot of 2.5-inch scraps. But I do have a good amount of jelly rolls. I probably have a dozen jelly rolls. I tend to really like jelly rolls, but I've got many scraps as well, all organized scraps. They all are organized by size. Um, yeah, as I'm making a project, if it's a scrap that's big enough, I have a basket on the floor by my sewing machine that goes in there. And then once a month or so, I'll get out that basket and I'll take all of the scraps and cut them into the appropriate sizes. I did a video on how I organize my scraps. And so I follow that religiously. Jacqueline says, I lucked up on a huge fabric haul at Goodwill about a month ago. I didn't even know Goodwill had a fabric selection. Yeah, you can get some good stuff there. I think it just kind of depends on the Goodwill. Mine is always kind of hit or miss. There's a couple Goodwills here in Waco, and I don't always feel like traveling to both, or there might be 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, I feel like maybe that stuff comes from estate sales, or I don't know, because maybe people donate fabric. I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't donate it to Goodwill. I would donate it to another quilter, or I would donate it to like a place that does charity quilts or a quilt guild or something like that. I would donate it to. I don't think I would take my fabric to Goodwill. So I feel like maybe that stuff comes from estate sales, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So if you have a Goodwill that has good fabric stuff, that is huge. That's awesome. And you can get, I mean, it's kind of hit or miss, but you can get some good stuff. One time I saw this awesome, huge piece of fabric and I thought, I'm just going to wait. And then I went around the store looking at other stuff. I came back and that sucker was gone. I learned my lesson with that right away. So yeah, if you see something, grab it. And then at the end, if you go to buy it and you decide you don't want it, then just put it back or whatever. But just put it in your cart immediately. Because someone will take it and sneak it out from under you for sure. Yeah. That sounds so mean, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe not. I try not to be mean. I try to be kind. But if I can snag it, I'm going to snag it. Diana says she picked up 50 spools of good thread at a Goodwill a few years ago. Holy cow, that is a jackpot. That's amazing. Wow. Do you guys, speaking of thread, are you loyal to one brand of thread? Asking for a friend. I inherited a bunch of thread from my grandma, like the big spools. Some of it's kind of old and not good, but some of it's pretty good. She had a lot of different colors. But I'm just wondering if you are loyal to a brand. I know Aurifil is a great brand of thread. I only have a couple spools, but because it's expensive. And have I bought this thing of thread. I'm going to grab it real quick. Let me just grab it out of my drawer. Okay, I bought this thing of thread, and it's 1,000 meters of all these colors. And I got it from, have you heard of this Temu, TEMU.com? I've been experimenting with their stuff lately. And so it's 100% spun polyester thread, 1,000 meters per color, works well on a variety of sewing machines. It meets the needs of most home use projects. Made in China. So I went to quilt that with the lavender color. And it was $11 for this whole thing. I thought, what a great bargain, right? But I went to quilt it and it broke like every row. I could barely make it across a row before my thread would break. And I thought, well, it's either my sewing machine or it's this crap thread. And so I put other thread in there, and it was definitely the thread and not my sewing machine. So it's so pretty. The colors are so vibrant and pretty. So I might use it for piecing, but definitely not. So Diana likes Superior thread. That's what your local shop has. Diana, I won a whole bunch of Omni thread today. Oh, congratulations. You're a winner. Debbie Harrison, nothing worse than not buying enough fabric you love and then it gets sold out or discontinued. Yeah, I've had that happen. But you can go on Facebook. There's so many quilting Facebook pages. I would like to know what you do with all the quilts you make. I always love how you make them. Well, Marie Sutherland, let me tell you. Most of them are folded up and sitting in my closet right now, not even quilted, because I generally put out tutorials so fast that I don't have time to quilt them. But I have to start quilting them. And once I do quilt them, I usually gift them to people that I love. And so if I end up with too many, I'm going to have to start giving them away like Donna Jordan does. With like the way she does it is brilliant, because it makes everybody watch the video to the end, for one thing, for the giveaway, and everybody wants to win. And so I would have no problem giving my quilts away in a drawing or something like that. Sometimes I have various quilts hanging around my house, and I change them out once in a while for the ones that are totally quilted. But yeah, for the most part, there's a bunch of quilt tops from all my tutorials just stacked up in my closet that I have to quilt them. I don't want to send them to a long armor unless they are volunteering their services, because I don't want to pay for that when I'm perfectly capable of doing it myself. Esther Toombs says, hi from Charlotte, North Carolina. Your work is amazing. I love watching your tutorials. My plan is to make the quilt you called Bubbles from Charm Packs. So wish me luck. Continued happy sewing. Esther, you can do that one. That is such a simple one, and it went really fast. And I really enjoyed making that quilt. That one's hanging up in my entryway right now. It's so bright and cheery and colorful. I love that quilt. Dana McAdams, glad to know it's not a good bargain. I've been buying a little bit from Temu, but I haven't bought any thread yet. Yeah, I was disappointed in the thread. I will try to sew with it, maybe piecing and see if that works. I did buy other things on Temu too. It's such a good deal. Plus, they give you all these credits, Like I bought this dog leash that it's like it hooks onto one, you have one leash, and then it hooks onto two dogs, and so you can walk your two dogs on one leash. It's awesome. That worked out well. Hi, Angie. I'm glad to see you. Says, hi, not sure if you saw me come in. I just got home from all day at our quilt show. Aurifil is actually a tiny bit less expensive than Coats and Clark. I use Aurifil for both piecing and quilting. I didn't know it was less expensive than Coats and Clark. That's good to know. It's good to see you, Angie. Angie is an excellent friend of mine. We went to high school together. We've known each other a long, long, long time. How was your quilt show? Was it for your guild that you're in? I would like to know that. Angie, I'm coming to Minnesota in July for a couple weeks. I would love to get together with you and hang out. That would be awesome. Yes. So thank you, Esther, by the way, for all those kind words. I really appreciate that. That is very nice to hear. I'm glad that you enjoy my content. And it's so hard to know like what people will love and what people won't love. And so it's so funny, like the quilts that I do tutorials and I think, oh, nobody's even going to watch this one. This one's dumb, are the ones that get the most views. So I haven't learned quite yet. Like everything always surprises me. I haven't quite learned yet, like what will take off or the ones that I think this is an amazing quilt. Like this is going to go viral, and then it barely gets any views. So I never know. I never know. So that's why I just make what I like. I put out what I like and just hope for the best and let YouTube do the rest. Yay, Minnesota visit. Yay. So I'll get to see Chris and Angie for sure. Angie says, it's the quilt club I belong to. It was well attended. I had 12 items in. That's awesome. Good for you. Angie makes beautiful quilts, and she makes a lot of charity quilts, which hats off to you, Miss Angie Solar. Love it. That's awesome. So yeah, so I am excited. Now I know that I'm on at the same time right now as the Soya brothers. So I didn't mean to compete with them. So it's just because we had that concert last night. Normally I would have been on last night instead of tonight. But I appreciate everybody who's come on. We've got 27 people on. I think at the peak we had 31 or 32. So I appreciate that. Does anybody have any more questions for me? I would love to answer your questions or see what you're doing or hear about what you're doing, what's coming up, all of that kind of thing. I would love to hear your quilt disaster stories. Angie says, I always thought Aurifil was so expensive too, but then I did some math, yard for yard. Aurifil is a tiny bit less expensive. That is so good to know. I do like Superior thread. And I think I bought some huge spools of thread at the Dallas Quilt Show last month. Or maybe that was already 2 months ago. I don't remember. That was pretty fun. And they might have been Superior Threads was there. I can't remember. But anyway, so what else is going on? Talk to me. Let's, yeah, I like Superior for quilt. I do too. I'm just not really a thread snob. I do have a couple spools of Aurifil that I got. I got it on sale from somewhere. I don't know where. I tend to buy a lot that is on sale. I rarely buy fabric at full price. My local quilt shop one of my local quilt shops went out of business, and then she started a new quilt shop in another town a little further away in Whitney, Texas. And she's only going to be open, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. So I do have to leave my house at some time and go check out her new little shop. It's called PhD Quilts, Projects Half Done. Jacqueline asked me, do I have a long arm? No, ma'am, I do not have a long arm. Mostly because I don't have space for a long arm. If my husband would build me a shed out in the backyard where I could have a bigger quilt studio, maybe I would have a long arm. And the fact that, yeah, they're pretty expensive. I think I would maybe get a mid arm or something like that. My daughter found a one of those frames that you set your sewing machine on. I can't remember what they're called now. It's a well-known company. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, you set your machine on this thing and then you move your whole machine around the quilt. She found one. Yes, I think it's Cutie. I think it's a Cutie. She found one. No, maybe it is a Grace frame. I think it's a Grace frame. Anyway, she found one at her Goodwill, brand new in the box, $50. So I'm like, you buy that. And when I come to Minnesota, I'm bringing it home with me. So she did. And so she was going to ship it to me, but it would have cost a fortune to ship it. So she found that at the Goodwill for $50. Like, you snag it, put it in your cart right away. And it's not a brand, I mean, it's brand new in the box, but it's not like their latest model. It's an earlier model that somebody just bought and never used. So I guess it's just brand new in the box. So I'm super pumped to try that out. Hopefully, I think it should be able to fit right on my normal sewing table. Oh, Angie, can I come out and try your machine? Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm excited. Debbie Harrison says, my sister-in-law and I just finished piecing a queen size disappearing 9 patch for an upcoming family reunion raffle. She's going to quilt it on her long arm. That sounds amazing. That's a great idea for a family reunion raffle. And that raises money for the family reunion. That is a brilliant idea. I feel like I missed a comment here. Oh, Diana B., I made your block 3D quilt. I don't know what it's called, 3D block head quilt. It went to the pediatric wing in the hospital. The nurses loved it. I'm going to make more. It's an easy one to make for kids. It is an easy one to make for kids. And I love the fact that for that quilt, you can either just, your focus square, you could also just fussy cut something for that and it would look really cool. That was one of my more popular tutorials. I love that one too. And that was inspiration from some ceramic tiles that I found on Pinterest. No, that one was inspiration I saw from some modern art. The tiles was the Potama quilt. Yeah. That's awesome. So, yes, Angie, I am going to come out and try your machine. You live in Jordan, if I remember right. So I'll be staying in Farmington with my son and his fiance. So I'm excited for that. Yes. And we can go out and have lunch and wine too. Or just wine. Either way, that's good. Let's see. So anyway, so we have been on for 59 minutes, almost an hour. If anybody has any other questions for me or anything they'd like to know or want to talk about anything, I'm up. I'm game. Don't forget to check out my good winery not too far away. Yes. Yes. It's a date. It's a date. Just girls, please. So don't forget to check out my t-shirt store on teepublic.com. And the link is in the description of this live stream and in all my videos. Also, if you need titanium blades, there is also a link For the fabric cut, we get a special discount because you are members of my channel, not members of my channel, but subscribers of my channel. So you get a special discount for titanium blades as well. And then there's a list of all the things I use on Amazon. If you're interested, I do get a percentage of those sales, but it doesn't come out of your pocket. I actually get paid by those people. So don't forget to check that out. Also, if you need to organize your fabrics, check out these boards that I got on Amazon. They are awesome. I ordered more because I know that I will definitely use them. I love those t-shirts. I bought one and I have one more in my cart. Yeah, I love them too. And Diana B, don't forget that they have female cut. They don't only have men's ones. So you can get female V-necks, ones that might fit your body a little better than just the boxy man shirts, unless you like the boxy man shirts. But keep in mind, they do have female shirts there too. So yeah, the colors are a little more limited on the female ones, but that's okay. I tend to get the dark colors anyway. Yes, got the extra soft. Good for you. So, and they wash up so nice. And the other thing I like about them is they don't just have these in stock. They print them to order. So if you order like this t-shirt, they make it as you order it. And then literally it takes less than 2 weeks to get to my house, which I'm amazed by. They wash up super nice. They don't peel or fade or anything like that. So, I probably order 2 or 3 of them every 2 weeks because I love them so much. And because I discover new designs that I have to have. So yeah, impulse buying is good, especially when there's a flash sale. So the flash sale, it runs until Friday the 28th. So that's good. It's on for a whole week. So that's awesome. There's super nice people there. They're super nice people. So don't forget to check that out. And let's see what else. If you consider joining as a member of this channel, that would be awesome. There's no pressure to do that, but it just helps me out. So I appreciate that. And thank you again for the gift on this channel, on this live stream. I really appreciate that. So unless anyone has any other questions, we're going to close it down. I loved hanging out with you and spending time with you. And I'm going to look into doing a Zoom call next month, if anyone is interested in that. So if you're interested in that, maybe comment on this video after we go. So shalom, Debbie. Thank you so much. Much love to everybody. I'm super happy that you stopped in. So have a great week. Stay creative. Keep sewing. And email me at revelationquilts@yahoo.com if you need anything. But other than that, I'll see you around. Have a great, great week, everybody. Bye-bye.